I want to thank everyone for being here today and sharing the story with my brother Ken Cohen of my father's awakening from his dementia. And this part of the podcast, which is a bonus, I give the audience an opportunity to get to know our guest separately or independent of the awakening event, and they could tell a story, anything they want about their life. So, Kenny, I think there's a story you want to share with you and Dad. Am I right?
Yes.
All right. So why don't you tell it directly out there to the audience?
Okay. So this is a story of him being protective. I was 16 years old. I just went on my first date with a girl outside the neighborhood. Not someone I knew since second grade. And when I got back from it, it was a double date. A friend from Dad's work set me up with this girl. I had a great time, and I'm literally skipping in the neighborhood. And I ran into two kids from the neighborhood. I not know them that well. And they jumped me. And one of them put a knife to my throat. And I was 16, and I was fast in those days. And I ran. And we had a 23-story building. I ran to section C. We lived in A. I ran up 23 flights, and not the smartest thing in the world. I crossed the roof, and they chased me. And then I went to A section. I walked down to 14th floor, screaming the whole time. I had a neighbor who was a Holocaust survivor. Had a very heavy Yiddish accent. What's going on? Had a big knife in his hand. He wasn't taking anything. And I got in the house, and Dad, what's going on? Explained to him the story. And he said, hey, these things happen. Sit down, we'll get you some milk and cookies. No, that's not what happened. He said, you go down there right now, and you kick their ass. You don't run, ever. And I did. And I didn't even think about the fact that someone had put a knife to my throat. And I just went. And I wasn't scared. I went from being terrified to being furiously angry. I ran down 14 steps, and I went looking for them. And they had separated. One of them was called Eric the Red. The guy put the knife on me. I chased the kid who had a knife. I beat the crap out of him. I had some fights, beat the crap out of him. And the other guy was not around. I dealt with him another day, actually. I set a fight up. And I looked, and I saw out of my peripheral vision that a guy was coming at me on a bicycle. And I knew who that was. That was the Brooklyn Warbass bully, the karate expert. He was coming right at me.
He was a little older, right?
He was a couple of years older. And then all of a sudden I got afraid again. I wasn't afraid of the guy with the knife. I tried to look out, and then out of nowhere, like a vision, Herbie comes flying out behind a bush and grabs the kid by the shirt and screams, I am not going to kick your ass. You are going to go upstairs, get your father, bring him down here, and I'm going to kick his ass. And then I realized years later, as a father, that was hard to live up to. I don't think I ever reached that standard. I tried, but who could do that? If I told you the other story about how loving he was, how protective he was.
Yeah, when it came to his children, and we have a lot of other stories, and some of them you'll hear in my book.
Some of them are nuts.
But he would have not only taken on the Karate Kid, right, if he had to, but he was there to protect his. And I remember part of the story. Didn't they, like, the Karate Kid make a karate stance?
Oh,
and then Dad came out and made like a boxing stance.
Then he grabbed him. Yeah. And the guy knew that he was, he was an adult. And, when he showed, we still had the muscles and great shape. And,
That's a great story. All right, Ken, thanks so much. I really appreciate you being here. I love you very much.
You, Danny.
All right, Ken. Take care.
Love you, baby.
Bye-bye.